Have you ever wondered why women around the world carry a certain fascination for men from the United States? It's not just about appearance, or the accent, or the confident smile. It's something deeper, something invisible yet magnetic. When a US man walks into a room, it's like time slows down for a moment. He carries a presence, not loud, not arrogant, but quietly sure of himself. That quiet confidence is the first thing that draws women in, because confidence, when it's real, speaks louder than words ever could. A US man often carries an energy that says, "I know who I am." He's not pretending, he's not rushing to prove anything, he lets his actions speak. And women, by nature, are drawn to authenticity, to men who stand firm in their truth. It's not about dominance, it's about emotional control. That calm energy of a man who's not trying to impress, that's what impresses the most. There's also something unique in the way US men communicate. They have a rhythm to their words, a mix of openness and mystery. They can be charming without being too polished, funny without trying too hard, bold without being intimidating. That blend of freedom and warmth creates a space where a woman feels both intrigued and comfortable. It's a rare balance, and that's exactly what makes the attraction feel so natural. Another part of the magic lies in independence. A US man values his own space, his own purpose, his own journey. And strangely, that makes him even more desirable. Because women don't fall for men who chase them endlessly. They fall for men who chase their goals. When a man is busy becoming the best version of himself, he doesn't need to ask for attention. It follows him naturally. Women can sense when a man is driven, when his dreams are bigger than his distractions. And in the US culture, that sense of self-driven ambition runs deep. But beyond ambition, there's a layer of kindness, a softness that balances the strength. A man who knows when to lead and when to listen, when to speak and when to hold silence. This emotional intelligence is one of the most powerful traits that set US men apart. They understand that love isn't a game of control, it's a dance of respect. They know that giving a woman freedom, laughter, and security at the same time is what creates real connection. Women notice how US men appreciate individuality. They don't try to change someone into their ideal. They celebrate differences. That's romantic in its own way. To be accepted completely, without being molded. It's why many women from different cultures find themselves drawn to that kind of energy. Because at the end of the day, we all want to be seen for who we are, not who someone wants us to be. And then there's the chemistry of simplicity. US men often don't overcomplicate emotions. They don't build castles of expectations. They live in moments. They express affection in small gestures, a smile, a laugh, a late-night conversation that feels endless. It's not about saying the perfect thing. It's about saying it with sincerity. That natural flow of connection feels easy, yet unforgettable. The truth is, women fall for how a man makes them feel. Not what he has, not what he says, but the energy he gives. And US men often carry an energy that whispers calmness, trust, and a sense of adventure all at once. It's like their presence says, "You're safe here, but you'll never be bored." That combination, safety and excitement, is irresistible. Behind that charm, there's also vulnerability. A US man isn't afraid to show emotion when it's real. He doesn't hide behind the mask of being too strong to care. He can hold a woman's heart without losing his own. That emotional openness doesn't make him weak, it makes him human. And humanity is where love truly begins. What makes this even more beautiful is that women don't just admire US men, they feel understood by them. There's a deep sense of equality, of respect for shared feelings and choices. It's not about ownership, it's about partnership. When a woman senses that she's being valued, not possessed, something powerful happens inside her. She lets her guard down. She allows herself to love freely. Maybe that's the secret. US men don't demand love. They invite it. They let it come naturally, like a sunrise that doesn't need to announce itself. They understand that love grows best in the space of trust, not pressure. That's what makes their presence unforgettable. They create emotions that linger even after they've left the room. And that's why, all around the world, women often find themselves drawn to men from the US, not just because of looks or culture or lifestyle, but because of the way they feel when they're around them. That feeling of being respected, heard, and desired without force. That's the kind of love that doesn't fade easily. But this story doesn't end here. Because there's another side to this connection, one that goes deeper into the psychology of attraction and the emotional blueprint that makes these men unforgettable in the hearts of women everywhere. There's a psychology behind why certain men seem to capture hearts without even trying. It's not about perfection, it's about presence. And when it comes to US men, that presence has layers built on experience, expression, and emotional freedom. They've grown up in a culture that values individuality, where being different isn't a flaw, but a feature. That freedom to express builds confidence that doesn't need validation. When a man embraces who he is fully, he gives permission for others to do the same. Women feel that energy. It's liberating to be around someone who's not pretending to fit a mold. That freedom creates connection. US men often approach love with curiosity. They listen, they laugh, they explore. They don't rush to define everything too soon, and that mystery keeps emotions alive. They understand that attraction is like art. It can't be forced, only felt. Every woman loves to feel seen and desired, but not decoded. The beauty lies in the unfolding, and that's something US men do naturally. They let love unfold, slowly, deeply, meaningfully. Psychologically, women crave emotional safety as much as excitement. Most men struggle to balance the two, but US men often get it right. They can be spontaneous without being reckless, confident without being controlling, protective without being possessive. It's that emotional intelligence that keeps a woman's heart steady while her mind races with curiosity. It's the perfect blend of stability and spark. Another thing that sets them apart is communication. They know how to talk about emotions without making it awkward. They can turn silence into comfort and words into connection. When they compliment, it's real. When they express feelings, it's with honesty, not performance. That kind of authenticity is rare, and women always notice what's rare. And then comes the sense of humor, that effortless charm that can turn a serious moment into laughter. Humor is a universal love language, and US men have mastered it in their own smooth way. It's not just about jokes, it's about timing, tone, and understanding what makes someone smile. Because making a woman laugh isn't just about being funny, it's about making her feel good in your presence. And that feeling stays long after the laughter ends. But perhaps the deepest psychological trigger is the sense of emotional leadership. A US man doesn't need to dominate to lead. He leads with direction, not control. Women feel safe following that energy because it comes from strength, not ego. It's the kind of leadership that says, "You're with me, not behind me." And that's what every woman secretly dreams of. A man who walks beside her, not ahead of her. There's also something spiritual about the connection. The way US men treat love like a journey, not a destination. They don't chase forever. They create moments that last forever. That difference in mindset changes everything. Women fall for the way they make the present moment feel timeless. It's not about grand promises, but the way they make you feel when they look into your eyes and really mean what they say. Love, for them, isn't just romance, it's a partnership of souls. They value deep conversations, emotional openness, and shared dreams. They can be both the protector and the poet, the realist and the dreamer. That emotional duality makes them fascinating because they remind women that real men can be strong without being hard, soft without being weak. At the core, every woman wants to feel adored, not owned. She wants a man who can make her feel like the only woman in the world without making her lose herself. And many US men have learned this balance, how to love without limits but still let the other person breathe. That's not just romance, that's emotional maturity. And maybe that's the reason women from different cultures find themselves saying, "There's something about American men." It's not about where they come from, it's about how they carry themselves, how they make others feel seen and valued. It's about how they combine strength with gentleness, logic with emotion, and confidence with humility. In a world where everyone is rushing to be noticed, they've mastered the art of being felt. And that's why, long after the words fade, long after the moments pass, women remember them. Not because they were perfect, but because they were real. Real in their laughter, real in their silence, real in their love. So maybe the secret isn't that US men are loved by all women. Maybe the truth is simpler. They remind women what love feels like when it's free, respectful, and deeply human. Because in the end, the most irresistible thing a man can offer isn't power, money, or looks. It's presence. And when a man's presence makes a woman feel understood, safe, and alive, love doesn't need to be chased. It just happens. In the end, it isn't just about where a man is from. It's about what he carries within, the courage to love without fear, the strength to stay kind in a hard world, and the calm confidence that says, "I'm enough." That's the real reason women admire US men, because they see in them a reflection of what every heart longs for: honesty, warmth, and depth. Love doesn't ask for perfection, it asks for presence. And when a man shows up fully, with respect, passion, and soul, he becomes unforgettable. The accent fades, the looks change, but the energy remains. That quiet energy that makes a woman feel seen, cherished, and safe. That's what leaves a mark. So maybe it's not that US men are loved by all women, it's that they remind the world what love can feel like when it's free, honest, and real. Because in the end, every woman falls for the same thing. A man who doesn't try to own her heart, but inspires it to open.